Gotta save for the stream. You're wasting the
Warning!
information.
Please do not attempt to perform any of the stunts or activities in this show, as they are dangerous and can lead to serious injury since they're going to start flinging coins at me. Video submissions of coins being flipped are not welcome here.
Oh, you totally fudged that one. Oh, wow. Anyway, welcome to One Side of the Coin. I'm your host, Steveo the Gamer, with me as always.
Mack-Attack.
And we have an extremely very special guest this evening.
I was going to say, it's my name tag. Just
the masked marvel himself, the legendary Alex Miller. Yeah. Oh, you still sick?
Yeah, I'm dying.
He's dying.
I'm dying.
Don't die on us, Alex. Especially not on the stream.
Yeah, we cannot have that.
I'm making no promises. I'm hoping to not die on stream.
Yeah, let's not die.
I mean, that'd be one hell of a stream title. Yeah, Death on Live.
Breaking news.
Breaking news tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, right. Anyway. So, yes, very special show this evening. We're going to be having a magnificent chat with former card designer of Genesis Battle of Champions, responsible for a lot of things that took place for Genesis. Very iconic person in the Genesis community as well. And to top it off, the creator of an upcoming game, Convergence. Which I hope, I forgot to remind you, I hope you used that for the, okay, perfect, thanks, that's why I asked you to have. So yeah. Alex, like I gotta get this question off my back right off the bat, okay? Like, what happened when, how do I word this then? It totally slipped my mind. Okay, we're, knowing very well that Edge of Exile has taken over Genesis Battle of Champions, and they did state that everyone formerly involved in Genesis was contacted.
Yeah. Were
you offered to continue working on Genesis?
No.
You were not offered.
Not offered that.
You were not offered whatsoever. Yeah. Okay. Is this the reason why you decided to go forward with Convergence?
No. So we planned to do Convergence obviously before we even knew that the Edge of Exile was doing anything.
Okay.
We actually started working on Convergence literally the day of Haunted Castle closing.
Okay.
Yeah, I got all the game designers together and I said, we still want to continue this. Yeah, and they all went, yeah.
Okay.
From there's a lot of all over the place.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what happens. Because obviously we tried to bring the community in, and it ended up being too many cooks for a while, but I never stopped working on it. But the designers sort of spread out a bit, and then Carl came back to me and was like, where are we at? And I'm like, here's where I'm at. Where are you at? And he's like, oh, here's where I'm at. I'm like, cool.
Okay. And then that's how you guys teamed up, more or less, to continue on with Convergence.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you upset at the fact they didn't ask, or like what's your feelings and thoughts on it?
No clue. Carl asked me that like ahead of time. We were almost expecting them to ask, and our general response was, if they were doing this ethically, we'd probably do it. We don't see it. Same thing. It's like if they came with a proper like drop proposal, I'm sure we'd pick it up. Don't see why not.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, would only make sense the fact that you were responsible for ETL, the lead designer. Your name's on the majority of the cards throughout, like Origins, even going into Invasion.
Yep.
So, like, I mean, it's kind of still questionable as to why they haven't asked you, right? I mean, talking to Carl, I don't think they've even asked him, from what I understand.
Not to my knowledge, but he's currently talking with them.
Okay.
So I don't know.
If they were to all of a sudden say change their mind or whatever and decide to ask you,
it'd be the same thing. I would look at the proposal seriously. I wouldn't just throw it off or anything. I give everybody a fair chance. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, would you still continue Convergence though?
It would depend. I would definitely talk with Carl, see where he's at, because also, you know, there's partners who want to work on Convergence, everything like that. And I would see what that'd be part of the ethical business on their side. If they're asking, you can't work on Convergence, well, then they might have to pay a little bit more money.
Yeah, fair enough. So Devin says hi. Oh, we actually have Carl in the chat. So let's everybody say hi to Carl. Hey! Carl said he can make it out this evening. We were trying to get them both on to continue talking about Convergence. We said hi to Devin. Cardboard Corehorse has joined us. Thank you. So, what kind of progress have you made with Convergence so far?
So we have some art assignments out to some of our artists, and mostly we're just working on really game design. Because we have slightly pivoted with the Edge of Exile return, and we want to focus now on making the game even better than it was.
Okay.
Before, we were looking at doing a blend. Our goal was, well, we have all these Genesis players, we need to make something new, but we needed to make middle ground to make it a very smooth transition. Mm-hmm. With Edge of Exile, working on Invasions coming out, that essentially is the regular, everybody continues that. So now we can do a lot more unique, extreme things that people haven't seen before. I can give you some now if you want them, or we can save it for later.
No, yeah, I think myself, along with Mack-Attack, I'm sure some of the viewers too are like super excited to see. So number one, Carl really wanted this. We've wanted it for a while. Is we're definitely looking at starting off at increasing the board size. Yep.
Number one.
Which I think Carl had mentioned it when he was on the show.
So I'll go for some fun that you guys haven't heard about then. So one of the big ones is going to be drawing cards at the start of the game. Champions, whether they're called champions or not, will probably be called something else for Convergence.
Right.
Will actually have a starting hand size as a characteristic. Now, at the draw phase, you draw up to your hand size or draw one.
What's that sound familiar to? It's just pointing. Yeah, Kenny's got his My Hero deck over there.
A beautiful toga mat.
Which is actually I was sitting down. I was actually teaching some players how to play My Hero the other night for the Universa system, and it runs very similar. Each character has a specific hand size, and each round you draw up to that specific hand size, but they're all different, right? And then the champions,
we're going to say champions.
I know, we're going to keep
okay,
saying
we're gonna
it,
say
right?
champions
Like,
for
even
now,
when I was teaching, I kept calling them champions, because we're so used to it with Genesis, but each character has a different health as well, based on their hand size, too, which is, and I found it a very unique and interesting mechanic for a game, right? And you can see the benefits as well as the pros and cons, more or less.
Yes, there's both.
There's both pros and cons to having either a higher hand size or a higher health, right?
So you said draw up to that hand size or one. What does that mean?
So, let's just look at Genesis. A lot of this comes from what do we love about Genesis? What are the issues with Genesis? One of the big complaints about Genesis is I hold my hand, it's building, it's growing, I get up to you, it's done.
Yeah.
Was sort of the combat. So now, with a redraw mechanic, summoners can play a bunch of summons. Next turn, they're going to redraw that whole thing. So if you decide to sit back and do nothing, the summoner's going to have a lot more resources. Same with, we like those exciting interactions. We do like big hands versus big hands. We like those stacks. But this now means, when you go into the battle, you have the big stack versus big stack. It's not just that player, the person who won that stack on that turn has won the game pretty much. Now you got next round, everybody's going to draw back up, and there's going to be a whole new sequence of tactics and combat going on. Mm-hmm. So we think that it's going to bring a lot of excitement to each round, rather than just having one big monumental round.
Yeah, no, I totally understand where you're coming from on this, because in Genesis, where you're playing and you're playing your lot of cards, you're only holding one or two cards. The next round, you're only drawing one.
Yeah. Right.
Well, in Nubia's case, two, right, or whichever. But still, you're not gaining any kind of momentum.
Yeah.
Right. You're more or less faltering. Especially when it comes down to top decking, right? So, whereas in the Universa system, or what you guys are looking at for Convergence, drawing back up to that hand size, it gives you another opportunity to defeat your opponent, as well as they have the same equal opportunity.
What is the normal hand size for Genesis? Or sorry, not the hand size. Sorry, number of cards you can have in your deck?
50.
50? Are you going to up that by any chance?
We are not planning. Well, Carl would like to up it. I don't necessarily want to up that. We're still doing tests on that. We might do, ironically, a My Hero Academia look at thing. I believe they reshuffle the deck, half the deck back in or something like that.
Yeah.
We're looking at some of those things.
So in Universus, if you get down to your last card, once you draw it on your next turn, if you can't draw any cards, you take your discard pile, you remove the top 10 cards, shuffle, and that becomes your deck again.
Yeah.
But those 10 cards are removed, and then you play until you have no more cards again, and you do the same thing. So you're eliminating 10 cards each turn, each time you go through your deck.
Oh.
If they haven't killed you yet.
Here we were playing last night, and I'm getting down to, like, you know, or sorry, not last night, Tuesday night, and I'm getting down to, like, you know, the lows of my deck, and I'm like, I'm running out of cards. But really, I'm not. I forgot that was a mechanic. I forgot that was a part of the universe.
I kind of like that.
But the thing is, like, okay, so would it be a minimal deck size, and then potentially you could play with more by choice?
Not likely.
Not likely. You'll just have like a general set number.
I still believe in the set number currently, but that's where a lot of this testing comes in.
Okay.
We're trying to really maximize what is the best route possible.
Yeah.
We're not rushing on for that reason.
Cool.
So then having the same mechanic as Universes, where it's like you have a certain hand size and you draw up to that each round, are you going to do the shuffling thing like them as well, where it's like you remove the 10
you said
cards?
they were thinking about it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not.
Okay,
Currently,
sorry,
that's
I
not.
missed
It's
that
on
part.
the options within the realm that we're looking at. Like, we know we want the draw, but there is potential to just, make a properly balanced game and not have to have that mechanic of redrawing.
Yeah.
Or, just have a bigger deck. It is an option,
Yeah.
but, bigger deck, I need more sleeves, need more cards. Steven's gonna love you. You're gonna keep buying stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad's going to have a blast with that one.
Yeah.
I remember hearing the story when he built his Raha deck. He had cards spread out on like 2 tables.
Yeah.
Trying to build it.
Literally.
For 6 hours, too.
6 to
Yeah,
8
something
hours
like
it took me to build that first Raha deck.
Oh, I remember that story.
Yeah, we're not going to go down that lane because Alex is sitting right next to me. And yeah, no.
Remember how I got defeated?
There-
Flashbacks.
Flashbacks.
I can't read that.
It'd be an interesting refill mechanic when there's a chance of some of your deck already on the playfield.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That too. It's a good point. That is one of your guys, actually, isn't it? Steven.
Yep.
Yeah, Steven. So, Steven, I mentioned, like you're using your hand, you're playing cards, you're going to have a considerable amount of cards. Your timeline is going to be going down, or your deck.
Yep.
We're going to try and refrain from using the terminology. Your deck is going down, and then once you get to that last card, if you have to remove a certain amount, right, you're going to be even less because there's stuff already on the field. So, I mean, it could be very interesting and make it a little bit more strategic, right?
Yeah.
So, for a way of playing it.
Yeah, but so you have less, but then it's like, goes back. Everything starts getting added to the discard pile, right?
Yep.
It's like just a continuous cycle.
So let's talk about, Carl's very excited about, is a new card type that I think a lot of people talked about, which is equipment.
Yep.
So I don't know if Carl talked about this, but I'll go into more depth. So two types of cards, equipments and a type of alteration. These types of cards will not be in your 50-card deck. However, they will have a cheat cost. So you will start the game with them attached to you.
Yep.
And obviously, the more equipments you put on, the worse your deck's going to be. But you have this strong starting point. As well as, similar in that vein, alterations will also be in that realm. You have the starting deck that you can spend chi on your iterations, and they'll just start on the board, versus having them to be in your deck. Because when you look at let's talk about alterations in Genesis. What are the best ones? What actually gets played?
Not a whole heck of a lot.
Maybe a pillar.
Yeah, pillars.
Maybe.
Like I remember when Rays came out, the pillars were highly used until an announcement was made of how they actually work, and then that got turned around. I remember our uproar about that one. But yeah, pillars.
Oh my god, yeah, that. Oh,
Outside
man.
of playing, like, say, a sealed or a draft or whatnot, you don't see them too often, right? In it. So I know, like, you had built the whole Catacombs.
Catacombs, yeah.
Catacombs was a good one, and it was played around with a lot. Fire Hill would be another exception.
But
outside
it's
of that,
really hard to put alterations in your deck.
Yeah.
Because almost all of them are situational. If you play them on one turn and then it's out of position, it's
You just stay away.
It's
yeah.
just dead.
You found that, champion, or sorry,
like
your opponent is just staying away from
the
you.
newest played alterations of the traps, but you're playing them for that instant effect rather than being something that's actually on the board and lasting.
Right.
So a lot of the interesting thing about these equipment and these alterations is you're going to start seeing 1 cheese and 2 cheese because they're not in your deck, and you're still going to have 50 cards.
Mhm.
It doesn't actually affect that.
Nice. So it'd just be kind of like an added bonus, depending on what they do
Yeah.
and how they work with the character you're using, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, I had thoughts about that too, and I remember I had mentioned to it a Sid at one point in time, and it's like, why not have like whether it be an alternate format or whatnot, where the actual arena starts off with specific alterations already on the field, and making new ones like warping, which I don't know if that was a runoff to the warping technique in Origins, but like you'd have one in one spot and another in another spot, and then if you move into that spot, you are allowed to warp to the other one, right? So, but they could also be destroyed, right? On top of it. So it was an interesting concept that I was working in trying to develop, but time frame. I never got around to pushing it through for you guys, but anyhow.
Looks like they wanted to ask us something.
Okay, so Mackenzie, you want to read some of the
Equipment cards is an interesting idea. I'm assuming as the game goes on, equipment will get weaker and eventually break. So you're more likely to see basic attack cards in a deck that break equipment. It's just like, we all know the left hook, right hooks, those types of things, but they'll have the, if it deals damage, destroying equipment, those types of things.
So equipments will have like a life as well?
So currently they don't have a life.
Okay.
It would just be like destroying equipment type thing. If you dealt 1 damage to an opponent, destroying equipment, attach them.
Not bad.
But now, we can look at giving them life.
Yeah, it'd be an option. Now, do 1 point to an opponent destroy attachment, right?
Yeah.
Is it you only attack them once? It doesn't matter how much life goes. Sorry, hang on. I'm trying to find a good way to word this. Say if you do like 5 damage, you're still only taking off 1 attachment, right?
So,
or would it be 5 attachments?
In that instance, we're talking about like right hook, right? It would say deal 1 damage to target in awareness, right? Then it'd have like rampage toss text. If you dealt damage, destroy an attachment. So it wouldn't matter if you increase the damage and all that.
All right.
It'd be a set match. Do you have a question? I don't know.
Would attachments have other conditions? Like, would they have a set amount that they need to have like damage dealt to them before they break?
Oh, that's a good one.
They could have lots of rules. So I can talk about some attachments that I was looking at right now.
Look at him running. He's
I know, right? What did I miss?
So there was a basic one that was just a evasion type one, which was just some sort of boots or something. It had a base mechanic. Oh, I guess this is very important. One of Carl's favorite things is the attachments themselves will probably have abilities on them. Like it might say exert on it, but that's not exert your champion. It's exert the equipment itself.
Okay.
So that's why, since it's off the board, once it's used, like if you're using a shield, you use it once, it's exhausted for the end of the round. But because it's not tied to your character, if your character goes, you still have that shield up for when your opponent goes.
Sorry guys, I'm on stream right now. Nice. Good job, bud. I'm so sorry.
So and then
somebody else's kid going on.
And then in those equipments, there was then a secondary power that was much stronger, but it itself would destroy the equipment. So one of them was just like increase the damage attack by 1, and it would cost exert. Or you could destroy the equipment for 1 big powerful tap and increase the attack by 3 damage. So it's using them at the right time, stuff like that.
Interesting. Awesome. Is there going to be like a limit to how many they can have?
They'll probably. We're looking at limits. We're looking at slots. Whether we do your character only has 1 head, 1 feet. Whether we do that mechanic. Literally, the balancer could be like if you're wearing 20 equipments, and your deck's like all 3 cheese. Maybe power to you. I don't know.
Right. So it'll have its like pros of having more, cons, etc., etc. So
yeah.
Okay, only because I am huge into fantasy myself. Your characters, or like champions in this case, are they going to be solely like human looking, or are they going to be like hybrids?
Not at all.
Not
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 at
at
all.
all. Not at all.
no. All
They're
right.
gonna be all over the place.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so with saying that though, Mack-Attack's question, what's the lore gonna be like, kind of?
Oh.
Yeah, this is a key question. Is it gonna stay within? Well, I can't say it, right?
It'll have its own unique lore.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out the question.
Yeah, I know
Say.
it's hard to put it. I mean, I don't want to get in trouble, right? That's the thing.
Trouble for what?
Huh? Well, because we're not allowed to say that it's compatible, right, or anything of that nature along those lines, right?
Oh,
They've already
right.
stated that if we, anything gets mentioned as far as being compatible or similar to or etc., right? So there's, we want to try and avoid that. So I mean, is it going to have a standalone lore?
Yes,
Here's the
for
question.
sure.
It'll
Yeah,
have a standalone lore. Are we looking at what's this?
I'm just showing her the statement from Edge of Exile.
Oh. Yeah, it'd be considered a copyright violation. So they've already made the statement stating that there could be potential lawsuits. So anyway, so it's got a standalone lore. Like what kind of genre are we looking at? Is it going to be like space, fantasy, like
You're
Mackenzie was
gonna
saying?
see a little. You're gonna see a bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Because the lore of it. If you haven't seen, I don't have the lore of it on me, but it's essentially multiple worlds are colliding together to become this one super planet. So you just have all these different species, races, essentially different time periods.
Space hamsters.
There you go. You could have some space hamsters.
Honestly, if that was like a summon or like a little character, that would be adorable. I was,
Space hamsters.
because Carl, last time he was here, he brought a couple cards and was showing us, like, they were just, like, basic things, like, thrown together, right, just examples, and one of them was, like, a dragoon of some sort, and I read it as dragon. I think it was, like, a rat dragoon, but I read it as rat dragon. So I'm like, dude, I'm gonna draw you a rat dragon. I literally did. I piped up and I'm like, I'm drawing you a rat dragon. He's like, that'd be amazing.
Alright, do you have the rat dragon art?
Right?
Where is it? What,
yeah.
When you promise this and you don't bring it.
Not existent right now, but yes, I've been busy with school.
It's art in the mind at the moment.
It is art of the mind right now. I'm still trying. I was searching some stuff up, and they're like got like the cute little ugly creatures, and I'm like, no, this thing has got to be ginormous. Come on.
Is it more rat or more dragon?
That's
the question.
Dragon
So
size
yeah,
Dragon size rat?
so Carl's
it'll
in the
have,
chat
like,
right now, and he's
scales like
he's
dragon,
kind
but,
of
like,
letting us
long rat face.
go down memory lane here. With the last time he was here, he showed us one of the characters, and it was the centaur.
Yeah.
Oh,
which
right.
which was super awesome, right? So, completely separate game. Let me
Let's
see.
see the
He
rat
wants to
dragon.
see the rat dragon too. So you
Let
better
me
get
see
to
the rat
work.
dragon. Yeah, I guess
You
now
better
I
get to
really
work
gotta
on
work
that.
on the rat dragon.
Right?
All right.
Like dragon-sized, long neck, rat head, wings, rat tail.
It's not gonna have
Yeah.
that long of a neck. Like, I mean,
Yeah, so
do
Steven
the giraffe
Skeleton
neck.
mentioned lore.
I gotta do a lot of
as well,
research
so.
on like dragon anatomy and then rat anatomy and try and like shove them together.
Rat anatomy.
I'm gonna have like this really bad looking thing on Photoshop, and then I'm gonna try and try and do like a finished art piece of it. Oh my
So you guys
God.
heard it. Next week,
Not next
rat
week,
dragon.
Oh my God.
Next week.
Next week.
we
I don't know if you guys are told.
Oh.
I'm
Get a hold
known
of
for
that.
promising
What?
things that are not by me.
that are not by you. Yeah.
Pretend it's homework for
That's
art
awesome.
I don't have
Right?
an art class right now.
That's why it's pretend.
Who wants to see a rat dragon for next week?
Yeah,
Let's,
yeah. There we go.
Some hands are coming up here.
So that means I get Saturday off then, right? So I can work on it?
You got a week. Next week.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that means I get Saturday off so I can work on it.
No.
I'm still going out Saturday anyway, so I don't get Saturday off regardless.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, like this one I can state, awareness, okay? So, I know one thing Carl was saying is that the awareness is going to increase all the
Yes.
way around.
Yeah.
So, is that one of the main reasons for creating a larger...
Just creating a
battlefield?
larger battlefield allows us to have much more unique cards, a lot more opportunity. It just in general makes the game more tactical, because there's a lot more opportunity where you can go, you have to block, evade, stuff like that.
You can get more stuff on the board.
Yeah, you can get more stuff on the board, and that also balances back to getting more cards, allows you to build a more board, and you have more space before the other person comes across. if they have a, our classic tsunami. Well, they were so much further back that you can. This wave of summons are coming up, and now you can work with that next wave. They're gonna have constant stuff they're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah. So I know one thing they mentioned on Monday on the stream, they said that there was too many because they were asked if they were gonna potentially look at increasing the arena or battlefield. Well, it would be arena for Genesis, and they said no, that because there would be too much complications with some of the existing cards already, such as Meteorite, etc. and whatnot. Like I actually sat back and thought about it for a few minutes, and it's like not really, right? I mean, regardless, Meteorite's going to do what Meteorite does, right? Regardless of how big the arena is, right? So I mean, I like the idea of increasing it to give a larger playing field, gives more options, as you said, and plus very interested in seeing how the card design actually incorporates with it. 5 colors, just staying with the 5 colors or 6 colors?
Oh, me and Carl are talking about it.
Forgot about Jay.
The base we're looking at is 5 colors. I personally would rather go back down to 4 colors, just because I've had to live through I was at the start of the 5th color essentially with Origins.
Yep.
And doing it was looking at the set as a whole. The production of it made the set worse. I think I could have made Origins better if essentially Phage existed in the other 4 colors, rather than each color essentially getting 5 color cards less. If that makes sense. Now that being said, Carl wants 8 colors, so we'll see where we land.
Ooh, wow, 8. That's a lot of characters to develop. So are you going to stay with like the same kind of idea where each character has access to multiple colors, or are they going to be solo colors?
I still think we're doing the dual colors.
How many colors is going to be for Convergence?
I think he figured out the 8 colors if there is a reason for 8.
If there's 8 colors, it'd be the whole rainbow plus white and black. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, white, black.
You forgot about indigo and pink.
Oh my god. Violet. And violet.
Oh yeah, don't forget violet. How could you?
And lilac.
Oh yeah, and lilac.
Magenta.
Magenta.
Right? Peach. That's a color.
Peach, yeah.
Technically infrared too, that's in there.
What?
Technically
Infrared.
infrared.
So looking at 8, that'd be interesting. And 2, that's a lot. Yeah, like I know when Origins came out, and it was like, so the opening experience in deck building with Origins, it was very difficult because, like, yes, the set it had a slight more opportunity to pull Phage cards.
Yeah.
But we were still getting some from the older, but the card pool for the older ones was still way greater than Phage, right?
Yeah.
So those Phage champions were just kind of like a struggle, right, to more or less become in the competitive, right?
Yeah.
So the addition, I think, the progression, the addition of Phage kind of did mess things up a little bit, right? Moving forward, though, after that, I mean, if they're going to stay with the 5, right?
Well, I have some fun lore. I think I can say it now because it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Now, ironically, so when talking about the future of Genesis, Assad wanted to get rid of a color in the future.
Okay.
We'll do a little trivia, and it's absolutely crazy. I vetoed it on the spot, but he wanted to get rid of a color in the future when we went to a new world.
Okay, let me guess.
That makes sense, though.
Let me guess.
It makes sense,
We want to
though.
guess.
Vellum.
All right.
No, not
You gotta
Vellum.
guess. You gotta guess. Vellum.
I have a
All right.
funny feeling it was J. Lara. It was the
Jay
white.
Lara. Okay. Anybody else got guesses?
I feel like it was
I know.
Because
I think
they
it was
had
to be the
you
world
guys.
color.
Red or purple?
It was Thymos.
Right?
Oh.
No!
I don't know why. I don't know. I have no clue why. He wanted to get rid of Thymos, and I was
thought it
like,
was
"What are
an
you on
excellent-
about? People love Thymos."
Thymos chaos love, baby!
Yeah, pull it out. Pull it out. I'll pull it out. That probably did not look very good.
Close your eyes and play that clip again.
Anyway.
Which would be great because everybody's like, "Get rid of Bellum, get rid of Axon," and then they remove Thymos later on. People go nuts.
Okay, well, no, it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. It
No,
doesn't
it
make sense no
doesn't.
matter
Would
what.
not
You
make
have
sense.
to get rid of so much.
Yeah, Axon
if you're
Axon would
pulling
have to
colors.
go first off. Right?
Hey. That's
Now I
weird.
will say I don't
Yeah.
think you were completely wrong with saying the world symbol.
Yes.
So I'll tell you the compromise that I at one point got him was rather than getting rid of the 4th symbol, was that each world we were going to one of the 5 symbols was going to leave and become the world symbol for that world.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, you
That'd
have
be
now?
cool. Then you could play the plain, like, that'd
Yeah.
be really cool.
Yeah, but then it would be restricted to what champions could use. Because if that color became the world symbol, then all the other champions that did not have... Well, no, because they all would. Oh, no.
All the
some
new
would.
champions would have
Yeah.
as their world symbol, and then they'd have their other part. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just
So then now
interesting
you're
stuff.
looking at 3 color decks, wouldn't you be? Because
Yeah,
we
'cause
usually
it-
all have 2, and then now if red would have become the world symbol, that would have just replaced Jilara.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, you'd then
So
have 3
every deck,
colors.
every deck could use Thymos cards at that point. But then any Thymos whatever champions would be at a disadvantage because they'd still be at 2 color.
That'd be weird because anybody, they would all have to have Phage in them, right? So those previous champions that had, like, say, Phage Bellum and Jilara, so anybody that didn't have Phage in it would be eliminated, but those ones would still be able to be played.
Yeah.
And they would have access to Jilarian cards, whereas the new ones would not. So would that give them an advantage?
Who knows? That was a different
Hard to say.
timeline. Different timeline.
Different
We don't know that
timeline
one.
altogether. Wow, that's
It's just a
crazy.
canon.
Crazy. But eliminating a whole affiliation.
Yeah, that was
that's-
madness.
Yeah, that's just a little,
That was
I think
a.
a little ridiculous.
Decoy Rabbit, man?
Yeah.
Justice for Decoy.
Yeah, non-existent anymore.
It may have been the one time I was like, "Yeah, you doing that? I'm out. I'm out of the business." If you cut an affiliation, people
Right.
love their affiliations. You can't just remove one. That's why I hated Phage, because I knew people would grow to love it.
Yeah.
I mean, in a draft, like if we were just drafting Origins, a lot of players I had noticed here locally were going more towards Phage,
Yeah.
right? So because, especially with Origins, you have more access to the Phage cards, right? So and not being able to use anything from the older sets, but in the constructed way, like we weren't seeing a whole heck of a lot of the Phage champions
Yeah.
coming through in winning in a lot of tournaments.
It was a situational color.
It was very, very situational, right? So,
Which one?
Phage.
People just weren't playing Phage enough. That's the honest
yeah,
truth.
that's the thing too, right?
Everyone was so excited for it, and then people just
And then-
slowly,
Yeah.
little by little, but it
Little
just
by
slowly started.
So are we gonna see more stuff like are you guys in the process of building like Discord or kind of like what you had before?
We're not. Right now, we're purely focused on gameplay.
Yeah.
Like our goal is to make the ultimate game.
Right.
That is just our goal. And that's where we're single-mindedly focused. We do have people working on lore. We have some people working on art, but we want to make the gameplay phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
That's it.
Yep.
Question.
Right. He's
if-
not even in the chat.
If your goal is to make the ultimate game, will there be something like Future League where you have a select community from the
Yes.
players?
Yes.
working? Yeah? Okay.
I was in
is it
charge of
gonna be
Future
open
League from the
though?
beginning. I don't know.
Don't know.
At this point, I don't know.
Like, what was that like? Because I know you were one of the key people running the Future League.
Okay, Future League started off really good when we really began. Then there's just sort of we're just going to call it the Blat era, where all the promos were repeat promos over and over again, because Sid made 2,000 of each promo. I was like, I gotta get rid of his promos! Now, and then we're going to call, there's another age that most people don't know because it's only on the designer side. We're going to call the Dark Age, where Sid decided the Future Leaguers get to see nothing. And nobody knows about that. There is a Dark Age where we actually had a Future League. Beyond to almost 95% of the people, pretty much all the designers, and Will, because Sid refused to hire him for a long time, we're on the Future League, and we'd had to test it all ourselves for like months, and then we could send it to Future League. and then towards the very end, he's like, "Nah, I don't care what you do. You can get rid of that. You can just do it normal again." I'm like, "Ah!"
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it's mind-boggling. Craziness.
And then at the end there, you also saw the new Future League promos. Those were because I actually was the one paying for them. I was like, yeah, I'm not giving people these same boring promos anymore.
Yeah.
So I contacted my friend Tori. I'm like, hey, I need art for this. Get me art.
Nice. but it doesn't really matter anymore now, right? It's, like, it's all done and over with. So a few comments here. We got, and with the
Colors, were there be...
Symbols.
What?
Will there be emblems/symbols as well that could assist color blindness, kind of like Magic has, blue also? Yeah, ooh, that's a good question.
Oh, so like put symbols with the colors for
Symbols with the
colorblind
colors.
people.
Like how they
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
There will be now.
yeah.
It's one of those things that, and it is unfortunate, and this is just in general with ableism, is that if you, unfortunately, if I don't have that ableism, it's just going to go over my head. I'm not going to think about it.
Right.
That's just unfortunately how the world works. So it takes somebody like Andrew to be like, hey, what about colorblind people? And I go, oh, damn, yes, I need to do that. And that's the honest truth.
Yeah.
But I bet Cardboard Cohort, when we would have done our testing phase, he would have caught us then. We probably would have had to fix it that way.
Yeah, without a doubt. So Scheme and Skeleton, hey Jordan, how you doing? What's he saying, Mackenzie?
He said, so some skeletons may be working on character backstories and lore. And
When will we know if those awesome
ideas are going to be used in Convergence? That's what he wants to know. You're already on the lore team. Ask me on a live stream. What are you doing over here? But like you said, not specifically on the lore team. We allow anybody from the community who wants to participate. So we have essentially a community lore book where they write their stories. That's what he's asking right here. It's put in there, and then at a later date, a designer is assigned to that lore and to convert that lore into cards in some form.
And where
Nice.
can we find this?
You just contact us. Be like, I want to write lore, and we go, okay, sure. And then I'll add it to the document. You can write some lore.
So there you go. If you have interest in writing lore, right?
I can try.
No, you have dragoons to draw, right? You have rat dragoons.
It's not even a
dragon.
dragon. It's a dragon.
Or rat dragon. It's a dragon.
Maybe it's a rat dragon dragoon. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly, right?
What's a dragon?
It's type of soldier.
Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, I said I love fantasy, and I don't even know what a dragoon is. I'm a fake fan over here. Sorry.
It's always the first thing I look at for color blindness, since it is one of my biggest struggles with gaming.
Yeah. No, it's a huge thing. A lot of people do complain about it because there's no distinguish, right? And if they have, what's the best way of putting it, an ability, right, that restricts them from playing the game, right? They have a tendency to not enjoy it or have the same experience as most players who can, right? So it's always good to incorporate that into a game. Right?
For sure.
What are you
That's
looking
awesome.
at over there?
I'm googling what a dragoon is specifically. It's typically a mounted soldier.
So you need a dragon rat on a horse.
Dragon rat on a horse.
A dragoon dragon rat.
Right.
And they typically have a firearm of sorts, so it needs to have some kind of gun.
This is gonna be the biggest freaking horse you've ever seen.
No, tiny horse.
Yeah.
Giant dragon.
And you know what? Now it's gonna be a cute, cuddly dragon because he's gonna be sitting there playing with My Little Ponies. That's what it's gonna turn out to be.
Right. I got a couple more questions, but I'll be right back, Mackenzie.
It's just this giant rat dragon with an actual horses.
The firearms
Like a little
is
horn tape
the
on it.
magic of friendship. That's the firearms, the magic of friendship. And he's got to be wearing a necklace that has the elements of harmony on it. Heck yeah. This is not happening, by the way.
Next week, be here for it happening.
The reveal.
The reveal. I want to see
It's
at least the sketch. I need the minimum of the sketch.
Okay, the sketch
Minimum
I
sketch.
can do. The finished piece, not a chance.
The week after is when the finish will
And it's
be
gonna be like
revealed.
professionally shaded. You need to put all your time and effort into shading it perfectly.
Okay, that's it. I'm sending you the sketch and you can do the
This better
shading.
be some
No.
Leonardo da Vinci level stuff.
Yeah.
What?
This better be Leonardo da Vinci level stuff.
He was great in Titanic.
I'm still in art school.
Actually, you're at Heads or Tails Gaming, but I know you can
Okay,
get
well,
confused.
okay.
Steve-O's gone, so now you just get terrible jokes.
Yeah, now you get us who have one's a guest and the other doesn't know what to talk about.
Steve-O leaves and all of a sudden it's a make fun of Mack-Attack stream.
That's literally what happens.
Sorry, was it Macintosh Attackintosh?
Yeah, that, yeah.
There you go.
Alright, I will actually backtrack to a question that I didn't answer that you asked. You asked about the hand draw size, but what was the +1 about?
Yeah.
And I didn't actually answer it, we got distracted. So it was, in the instance, let's just say you got a hand full of evasion. And what are you going to do? And you don't draw any cards because your hand's already at max? That'd be an unfair, if the opponent's doing stuff. So, at a minimum, you're going to get to draw one.
What's that?
So even if you have your whole hand
Even if
size,
you have your whole hand, you draw up to hand size.
There's
or
an
one.
additional, they sent us
So-
a promo by yourself.
How's Alex's internet doing these
Yeah, I was
days?
going to do it.
You know what? Generally good, but today
No,
and
for
yesterday was not so good. I was trying to watch a YouTube
I'll talk
video
to
and
you.
it was being
Our
choppy.
internet-
It knew you were about to start streaming.
I went back and answered a question,
Okay.
and then we were talking about my internet.
About your
Yeah,
internet.
Alex got asked about his internet. Our internet's out right now.
Ours out?
Yeah. Has been since like this morning. No.
Oh,
We're not even here. I'm like, we're just recording for ourselves.
It's a podcast.
It's just gonna be a VOD.
Okay. I'm home. Okay.
So
I almost just gave that guy a heart attack.
How's your internet doing these days? How's the exercise ball?
What?
The exercise ball got deflated at some point because my family got tired of it being around. So I was like, all right, I'll deflate it for now.
every week, I look forward to that. Watching ETL, so exploring the libraries, the show that him and Will had for Genesis. The big, huge, giant exercise ball sitting in the back, in the background. It was awesome. So,
I have a side
Go for it.
question.
you guys are gonna kill it.
Well, hurry up.
Going off of the +1 thing,
Yeah.
is there going to be a maximum hand size cap?
At this point, we haven't looked at it, but I think if somebody's hoarding their hand, like let's just say their starting hand size was 4, and then they go to 5, and then they go to 6, and then they go to 7, but their opponent hand size was also 4, and they played 4. Next turn you're at 5, and then they played 4. I don't see a point where we directly maybe have a hand size, because what we're actually trying to do is suggest to should be playing stuff on your turn to develop your board. While a penalizing system could work to deter against that, it also might deter strategies that might want to go that route, even though it will be disadvantaged to not draw as many cards. If that makes sense.
It does. Or they can't draw past their hand size.
So that's what you missed. No, the rule for drawing was draw to your hand size or 1. So if you're already at hand size, you can still draw 1.
Okay.
So that way, if you had a hand that was a dead stalemate hand, let's just say all evasion, you had nothing but Otens, your opponent's on the opposite side of the board, it doesn't come back to your round and you're just stuck with a hand of Otens. You're still going to continue to progress the game and do something.
Like that's never happened.
Yeah, that's never happened.
So if you've already
25
like,
Otens, 25 meteorites.
so like
works.
if you've drawn and you're at your hand size, and then it goes to the next turn, you're still able to draw
Draw a
one.
single card at a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it at first, but okay, I got it now.
Yeah, because then it still give you a slight chance of progression
Yeah.
in the game, right? Especially if you're sitting with a dead hand at that time. Then, yeah, makes
We're
sense.
also looking at, we could just do the opposite thing where it's like at the start of your turn you could discard and draw. Look at that. There's possible for that.
My hero does.
My hero does that, yeah. But it kind of fights off the whole, with that type of rule. 3 cheese you would just always discard to try to redraw into your 7s, etc. So I don't see it as positive in this game.
Are we still looking at the chi?
Yes, we are still looking at the chi. Yeah, the answer is yes.
Okay.
It wouldn't be called chi, but yeah.
It's not gonna be called chi. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Scheming Skeleton said in all capitals, R.I.P. Bacteriophage.
Rest in peace, bacteriophage.
Yeah.
Oh, is it still? Yeah.
That's been my phone wallpaper for the. Oh, sorry. Am I allowed to show this? No.
It's really.
You got it.
It's already
You
been
got
out.
it.
It's already been out. Yeah. You can show it.
Yeah, it's been my wallpaper for the past year now. No, just over a year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Mine
yeah,
is
maybe,
cancelled.
What is that? That's so cute.
Did we reveal that?
No, it never got revealed,
okay.
so I can't show it, but it's adorable.
Secret, that was a champion.
Was
Whoa,
it?
really?
Continue.
I thought it was just-
Do-do-do-do-do.
Well, it's just the art, right?
Yeah, but it's still owned by EOE now.
Okay.
Let me see it again, please.
Ew.
No, please, seriously, please.
It doesn't matter. You can show me now, or I'm going to go over to my computer and load it up.
You'll go pull it out if you have it.
Yeah. I have everything that
I
this
still
guy,
have
everybody that made for Invasions. Like, I have all
Yeah.
that working on. So, we're just not allowed to show it. So, which is, yeah.
Ah, yes, the
Oh.
sheep.
I was gonna say more, but I shouldn't say more about that until they reveal it.
Yeah.
Thank goodness someone caught
I
that.
just hope
joke.
that's still in there, because
I don't know.
it's amazing.
I honestly not sure about that one.
Well, I mean, they did state that, I mean, some of the stuff that has been revealed, they may not even use anyways, right? So it's there. We could end up seeing a whole new Invasions altogether, right? Depends on what they're doing. However, they have revealed some artwork, so I'm sure you're familiar with that because
Yep.
you would have
Give you
seen it
a
all.
list
I've
of
seen all the
what
artwork.
they've revealed.
Well, I made all the art files, so every single artist for every single card, I
Yeah.
designed everything they need to make. So I would say it's going to be this character on this background doing this thing, that thing, or it is going to be this creature that you never heard of. It's got 7 heads. I designed all that stuff, so I know every single piece.
They
Hydra!
have
Hydra!
revealed Yugon, Alt, Spilled Knowledge, Corrupt Opportunity, and Duma Edgitir.
What?
Those are the 4 arts they have officially revealed on their
Oh,
show.
okay, yeah. On the last 2 shows.
So now I'm going to send out a message to them.
Oh, okay.
This is a nice thing. This is like, if you can, there were 5 cards Sid vetoed that Will designed. Get them into Invasion.
That Will design.
Will designed, yeah.
Will designed.
And they got vetoed by.
They got vetoed by Sid.
Okay.
Where
Why, just because Will?
What's veto?
Meaning, like, they, yeah,
he didn't like it.
he didn't like it.
He
so
didn't
it
like
wasn't gonna
them.
be put in.
But we the designers and all of us. I remember in the beginning there was a lot of the older designers were like, I don't know about this. And then every week as we're testing, they had them in their deck every single week, and I'm like, I think I didn't like this. And like, oh, they're kind of my favorite cards.
Well, they've already stated it that Will has been made an offer to stay and work for Genesis. So I mean, potentially, I would assume that his cards that he did create
I would love
have
to see
a
that.
good opportunity of getting through. So yeah.
And I'll say it now. Lucky enough, they have art they can do these 5 cards with, because the replacement for those 5 cards were given alternate arts, so
Okay.
you can actually still make them. So, but that's Will's job to go
That's Will,
veto
yeah.
for that, go fight for that.
Fair enough. Yeah.
We believe in you, Will. You can do it.
Do you miss it?
What?
Where there's
Genesis.
a will, there's a way.
Well, yeah, always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working on it, whatnot. ETL, right? I miss ETL. I remember watching it every Tuesday while running Yu-Gi-Oh. So, I don't get involved in Yu-Gi-Oh even though I run it.
I know what you mean. I know what you
I
mean.
get to sit there and watch ETL. Yeah, I really miss it. You and Will talking about it and whatnot. But I mean,
It's just because it shows how much the community loved the game, right? Numerous people talking about it and getting to, express their thoughts, feelings. Well, aside from the tattoos, it's like it brings the community together, right? Because participating in the chats, you have numerous people on stream talking about it, sharing thoughts and feelings about it. So it's like it just shows a lot, right?
Stephen made a good comment. Will make some amazing cards. Yes, he does. Like, I mean, I don't. It still boggles my mind why he was not officially hired, right? So, I mean, I don't know what was going on behind closed doors as far as that.
I could go on forever talking about
Yeah.
the atrocities done to Will.
I feel so sorry for the guy, right? So I'm glad he got the opportunity, has been given the opportunity to get on board with actually being an official designer for Genesis, right? With the amount of work and effort that he's put into Genesis alone, right? So it's good to hear that, right? We love the game and the people behind it. Yep, 100% for Genesis, anyways, right? Until we found out what everything was going on and what happened, I mean, it is such a shame, right? But
Yeah, there was so much that went on, and it just everything was like going at like a mile a minute.
Yeah.
Like everyone talking.
Listen.
Right?
yeah, well, it happened so fast too. On top of it,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
and it was like a lot of unanswered questions, and some
That's
some
hard
have
to
been answered, some haven't still, right? I mean, as far as everything that has officially happened, but you guys are moving forward with Convergence, which is really good.
word.
I'm super happy to hear that. Do you have a time frame?
We do not. We originally did, but
Yeah.
with the reveal of Agile style, we said we don't need to rush now.
Right.
But it's as simple as that. So we'll take as long as we want to make the best game possible.
Nice.
It's always better to take your time. Though.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to rush it and then it'd be shit. So, oh, sorry.
There goes the AdSense.
Yeah, there it goes.
Now,
He'll bleep it with a duck quacking later.
I'll be honest. A lot of the slowing down of it has been me. You know the story about the last month for my family has been terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've been in and out of hospitals.
Unfortunate, bad luck.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
So, demoralized.
I don't know what that's about.
I don't know.
Oh, demonetized.
Oh,
Demonetized.
demonetized. Yeah, we're getting demonetized.
Demonetized. Oh, that has to happen first before that can happen, right? It's a process, step by step. Right?
Yeah.
You got your water?
Yeah, you
It's
want
over there somewhere.
I have an open mind, but if you need it. Anyway. So, yeah, taking your time. Estimated, though? Like, what are we looking, a year? I mean, you know. Like, I know nothing gets in stone.
I will
holding
definitely
you-
say.
we're not
Sure, let's
holding
say a year, a minimum. A minimum.
So we're looking at within a year or whatnot.
Yeah.
That's a good frame, though.
Sweet. But you do have stuff. You've been testing?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to diving into Convergence, seeing where it goes.
There you go. Carl says 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So come back 2 weeks where Carl's going to do some big reveal. I don't know what it is, but 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then apparently we're gonna have.
It's gonna be the Dragon Rat. It's gonna be the Dragon Rat.
Dragon Rat.
2 weeks for
next
the release
week.
of the Dragon Rat.
Yeah, there we go. I'll finish the Dragon Rat, and then I'll send it to Carl, and then Carl can come on here and be
No,
like,
you got a week. We already gave you
No,
a
no, no, no,
deadline.
no, no, no. When you were gone, they said I had a
They
week
compromise.
to get the
They
sketch
compromise.
done.
They want the sketch. They got 1 week for a sketch, and then 1 week for it
2
to be done.
weeks for
Okay.
the
2
finished
weeks for the
artwork.
artwork.
For
I
final
suck at
one.
backgrounds,
All right.
though,
We'll
so I
allow
gotta
that.
learn how to do backgrounds
We'll allow
in 2 weeks.
And then we gotta try and contact your favorite artist.
What do you mean?
See if you can get like your favorite artist from.
We're gonna hire your favorite artist to review your art.
Yeah.
Oh, to review it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
We're
to
gonna tell them
redo
to
it.
be
No,
as-
my art.
To be as severe as possible. We're gonna
Really
say
critique
yeah, really critique it. We're gonna be like, this is a professional artist. They demanded $5,000 for this piece. Okay, did I get my money's worth? And that's what we're gonna say.
Oh, wow. You're going to get ripped apart so bad.
Me? Yeah, right. Well, I'm gonna finish this artwork, and they're gonna be like, "Sorry, we can't show this."
What happened?
Yeah, what happened to
This
it?
would be censored in anything.
Let's say set up a Zoom with Damian.
I was gonna
But
say
then
that.
he would probably figure it out, right? Like, he'd be like, oh, yeah, Mackenzie do that, right? And then
Oh, yeah, he'd
he would
figure it
rip me
out
apart, right? So it's,
No,
it's too bad.
he'd be he would like rip me apart first, and then we tell him it's me, and then he'd be like, and the call is
The screen goes blank, technical difficulty across the screen.
We could send it to Jeff and he'll make a chibi version, probably.
Yeah.
a little chibi version of a
Chibi
dragon
version of
rat.
Dragon Dragoon Rat.
No, it's a dragon rat.
Dragon
no,
rat
rat
dragoon.
dragon.
Okay, I don't know what
I don't get it
Steven's
either.
referring to.
Weirdly,
I don't
the same thing happened with me and used tires. My mechanic refused to install them.
Oh,
I don't know.
Being in and out of an auto shop.
Oh.
Probably.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, with the hospital thing.
Yeah.
In and
Oh,
out of,
okay.
yeah.
In and out of hospital.
Gotcha.
There, you were in and out of hospitals. He's been in and out of a mechanic shop.
Oh, he might have the Genesis tournament curse like we do. Flat tire.
Oh my!
Oh my god.
Flat tire.
I remember that.
Yeah. On the way to Dragon's World for yours, flat tire. On the way to Washington, flat tire. It was like
On the
any
way to
major-
Washington, too.
We were on the
Yeah.
side of a highway where
Yeah.
big giant trucks
No
are
lights.
flying past us around
On a
the
mountain.
corner, by the way. No lights, and it was like pitch black out
Yeah, it
because
was-
it was like midnight.
Yeah. Blew a tire. Yeah, it was bad. It was not a good experience.
And then we damaged it worse because we had to drive down into a pit stop, which was closed off.
Yeah, the actual rest station was closed.
We stopped
But we
right in
snuck
front of
in
it.
there anyway, right? Because it was under construction. But yeah, and it took us
Wow.
forever to finally change the tire. But at least it was a safer spot. to
I
do
was
it.
ready to sleep in the car.
Yeah, just go back and watch around that time frame. 'Cause
We talked about
it.
We talked about it.
Anyway, that's awesome.
When I think a rat dragon, I envision a Skaven
Yeah, for more hammer.
Warhammer. In Final Fantasy, Dragoon armor with a spear twice its size.
Yes.
So, small dragon. Small. Because if you were to have a weapon that is, for a big giant dragon, nobody would be alive. The whole board, you just have to, spin it like a bottle. Everyone's dead.
See, but think about a very massive dragon with a very tiny weapon. And then he's out there dueling
Dude, that'd be
people.
so funny! You'd be
It's like the D&D movie. It's like the D&D movie. It's
toothpick.
like fat red dragon, right? With little tiny arms.
Yeah.
Just
It'd be
roll
like
around.
fighting with a toothpick. Come at me!
Nice. Okay, anyway, so we should probably wrap it up. You guys have any questions for Alex? Be sure to shoot them in the chat there. We've had a few.
Oh,
Oh
my
my
god.
Thanks, Kenny.
So you can expect that character in our game.
Tyrannosaurus with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
No, I'll do the artwork for you, so I'll whip that up as I'm whipping up the rat dragon.
Yeah, so
You just bought yourself another week.
at that portion of the
Yeah, I
show,
think so. My hero!
JC, my hero JC card of the week.
Woohoo. Whoa.
Laceration. Speaking of My Hero, we've been referring to it for most of the show. Anyway, so JC has given us Laceration, an attack card with a 4 check, 3 mid speed, and 5 damage attack. So JC says, we've been heroes for 2 weeks, so it's time to be a villain today. With the card Laceration from Heroes Clash featuring Stain. Actually, that character is evil as shit in the cartoon.
I would say he's not evil at all. I'd say he's a hero, true hero. He's a true hero.
I would
man
say
out there.
he's kind of a
Jedi
he's
hero.
a middle ground.
No, he is.
He
Oh,
only,
he's
he
like
only
Bert
believes
too.
in the true heroes.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of fakers out there.
If he went
Okay,
about it
all right,
in a
all right.
better
Yeah,
way.
he did it wrong. He's a PR person.
But he's also known as the hero killer. Put him
Yes.
right underneath that sword, Kenny. Put him right underneath that sword. There he is. This 4 difficulty, 3 mid speed, 5 damage may be a little easy to block. However, we are still going to make sure that we deal out some damage with this attack. Here is how you do it. I am here.
No, but look it.
What? Where'd he go?
He was petting JC's
Oh, yeah. As long as we are playing Stain, we have played another attack prior to this one. We will be able to use the combo Enhance that allows the attack to still deal 1 damage to our opponent. If they decide to fully block and allow us to score a momentum, which can be great early on for abilities later. There's also a second enhance ability on this attack which allows us to remove a weapon keyword from our discard pile to cause our rival to lose 1 health. Though this cannot finish off our opponent, if they are at that point, the use of the first ability will finish them. It will still apply some pressure. So why not give those pesky heroes a death of 100 cuts with Laceration? See, even he's like,
Oh wait, they came.
heroes of death. He's a hero killer. He's known as the hero killer in the game, or sorry, in the show. So there you have it. My Hero JC card of the week for My Hero Academia TCG. For have you ever played it?
As the rumors were expected, we were planned to be picked up by them.
Yeah.
So I actually
yeah.
opened up 3 boxes of every single set.
Yeah.
I didn't make a deck, but I actually have played UFS since the very beginning when they originally had
yeah,
Penny
GC.
Arcade.
Yeah.
And then I stopped in the middle at some point. I think it shut down actually, and then it got rebought by the current people. And
Yeah.
we're currently up to My Hero.
Yeah. My Hero.
So I played UFS. I have not specifically played My Hero, but I have a lot of My Hero cards right now.
Yeah, we don't want to say how many we have. Oh my god.
How many did you guys crack? I need to know.
Oh, geez,
Cases. Oh, really?
cases. Yeah, literally cases.
Yeah.
Now that was my question: is like, how many boxes do you need to open to make a solid deck? Was 3 enough of each set good enough? And I was like, also just sorting them's kind of a nightmare. And I told that when I had an interview with him, I'm like, how am I supposed to sort your cards? And he's like, You know, that's a question we constantly forget about.
It is. It's not that easy
It's
to
not
sort,
easy to sort,
and,
though.
and manage. Like, I do mine by foundations, attacks, assets,
Characters.
well, characters, obviously. What's that? Assets and...
But then
So
each
that's
of
the
those
blue
cards
ones.
have 3 different like
The what?
affiliations, right? So how do you sort them within the?
Oh, within that, I just totally ignore that.
Just totally ignore
I
it?
totally
Okay.
ignore it. I just sort it by, so if you're looking for a certain attack, and then I sort the attacks out or by the top corner.
Let me
Okay.
see, what is
Right,
that?
so all the ones are together.
Well, that makes sense.
Blue.
That's
Right.
It's an attack.
Within the thing. So
No,
yeah.
I was trying to ask what the
Yeah, as
blue
far as
thing
what those
was.
are, because
Oh.
it's too difficult because
Your
they overlap too
Check.
much, right?
Yeah.
With the combo of 3 of them, right?
So actually, if you do it in set 1, the cards had the order to them, like they're numbered,
Yeah.
and they have a sort of order. And then set 2, they have to it. They have the same order, but then there's some cards that are not. And then set 3, they completely change it.
Yeah.
Then they start doing, I think, how you were starting to sort them by the card types. But it's just
I found that the
Actions?
easiest way, right? What's that?
Actions?
Action? Yeah, actions. That's it. Thank you.
I had to search it out.
Yeah. You can't really build a good competitive deck out of 3 boxes. That's why they have the DLCs.
Yeah.
The deck loading contents, and also too, I recommend the 2-player starters because there are exclusive cards to both of those products that are highly used in a lot of decks, but they only give you X amount.
That's fair.
So when you can run 4 of any card in your deck, right? And it's like the DLC only gives you 2, so now you're forced to buy 2 DLCs.
True. Yep.
Right. So it's kind of gets you in that sense when buying product. Like, I mean, if you're just playing for fun and casual, like you can also get the single starter decks, which I think they have Endeavor
Yeah,
and
waving the other way.
Eraserhead.
Yeah.
Are the 2. Right?
Yeah.
So, I highly recommend a 2-player starter kit as a starting point. The decks are relatively strong, and there are a lot of staples in those, and at least you'll have them
Yeah.
if you're going to continue to build on like bigger and better decks, right? For sure. But Heroes Clash, I would say Heroes Clash and League of Villains, 2 best sets. Stay away. Don't really stay away from it. There are good cards in set 1, but a lot of them got nerfed.
They got nerfed.
Yeah, there's the majority of the cards that are on the ban list right now for the game are in set.
In set 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So it's more or less become.
Heroes Clash, which was that one?
That was the
blue
3rd one. Yeah,
The light blue one.
yeah.
I go by color.
And League of Villains is the most recent,
Except
and then
for
they
League
have
of
a set
Villains.
coming out at the end of the month, Undaunted.
Yeah.
What about the second set?
Aw.
Crimson something.
Crimson Rampage. There are a lot of good ones, and it did introduce a lot of newer, like more characters into the game.
Is there a Mr. Compress?
There is.
I need it.
I'm
I
pretty
need
sure there
Mr.
is.
Compress.
In set 2 though?
Not in set.
No, it
2.
has to be in the villains.
It'd be in the villains.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it sounds familiar. I'll have to double check.
But there definitely is. Mr. Compress is one of the main villain groups.
I love him so much. Him and Dobby are my 2 favorite villains.
Steve played the Mortal Kombat starter packs when it was UFS. Yeah. So yeah, it did.
Undaunted Raid.
Is it in that?
No, that's the name of the set.
Undaunted
set,
Raid.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the new set. No, we're trying to find what set.
It's just a
the
remake
character
of
he's
Mr.
asking
Compress.
for.
Oh, I don't
Might be
know.
in one of the
And you
other
put a
DLCs.
different
Sorry, I yelled at it in a bad way.
Yeah, there wasn't just like Mortal Kombat. There was Cowboy Bebop, as you said.
Mega
Disney
Man.
Arcade, Mega Man had one. Right?
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter was the other one. Yeah. A bunch of them. Right?
I just played
So.
that one.
It's a good game. I enjoy it. I really enjoy playing it. It's a lot of fun to teach and that, so I highly recommend it.
They should make one for Beastars. How cool would that be?
Right? Well, and we
Fight
almost
All Might
had
with
Genesis,
Lego
right?
sheep?
Which was like I had already gotten into My Hero prior to
Mega
finding
Man
out that
with
information,
Louie?
but when you guys had started, like word got out that it was mentioned about Jaskol looking at it and potentially grabbing the IP for My Hero, or sorry, for the UFS system. I was really excited, so it'd be. And then JC was messing around. He had actually made some fan-made cards, right, of the existing champions for Genesis into My Hero, and it can be done.
Yep.
I think it can be done. The system is so well, but with Convergence, it sounds it's got a lot of similarities.
You gotta look at all your games, right? Take the best of everything from
the
everywhere.
best portions of each game, kind of thing, and just build on it and to make it better. Right? So it's awesome. So thank you so much to Alex. Thank you very much
Thank you
for
for having
joining
me.
us. Anything else you'd like to add or comments?
I'm good.
You have any questions?
Not off the top of my head.
Not that I'd be able to answer them or anything, but I mean, anybody?
How far away are the stars?
Oh, Jesus. Okay, anyway, let's see. Alright,
Can you answer that one?
Well, I got Alma right here, and he's the only star that I need.
Yeah. Exactly. I am here.
It gets worse every time.
No, I think the best is Cam yelling he's not here.
He is not
anime.
How can people get in touch with you if they want to
Oh, I should have this
participate
prepared.
in the lore thing that you had mentioned?
That's sure. There's an
Yeah,
email,
give
and I
it.
don't remember it.
Oh my god.
I just throw meditation on the ground.
I can do that, yeah.
Gmail. See if I have it on here. I do not. Alright, it'll be up for next week's live stream. I guess I'll give it to you guys.
Yeah, send it to me and we'll get that information out to people.
Oh,
Not unless Carl's still in the chat and he knows it, then he can put it up in the chat.
Alex, help! Or no, sorry, Carl, help!
Actually, no, Jordan's in the chat. He has it as well.
Oh, Jordan, yeah.
Give me skeleton!
Come on, give us an email.
Email. Anybody, help us out.
Bueller.
Alright, you guys will have to get it next week. I'll leave, leave a
We'll
nice package.
definitely get that posted up. So if you want to get interested, or if you're interested in participating in potentially getting some lore into the new Convergence game to come out hopefully in a year, keeping our fingers crossed.
Or 2 weeks.
Or 2
One of
weeks,
the
as
two.
Carl says, right? It's up in the air. I'm super excited. I'm really, really looking forward to it, to see what you guys do with this game, right? So.
Oh man, that means I got 1 week for the sketch, 2 weeks for the finished product, and 2 weeks to get a lore down for this rad dragon.
Yeah, you got some work
And then
cut out
enter
for
it.
Yeah.
So here you go.
You got some work cut out for you.
Yeah,
Right,
right.
that's awesome. So thank you once again for joining us. Be
Yes,
sure to
thank
like
you.
and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it. There goes my phone. No name. Okay, sorry about that. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. We really, really appreciate all your support and hope you enjoy our content. We're going to be trying to get back into talking more. I know some people got upset last week we weren't talking about Genesis, right? And we'd like to continue, but it's a little bit difficult when we don't have content, right?
I was just about to say that. We don't
we
really
have
have content
nothing,
right now.
right? I mean, except getting kind of tired of talking about all the drama and everything that's happened in the past or whatnot. And it's like moving forward, right? But
Doesn't help that the answer for most of the Q&As is just, maybe.
maybe,
Maybe.
yeah, it is.
Maybe.
We're getting a lot of
Have the list.
maybes, or it's
I
what
don't
are we
know.
actually allowed to talk about on top of it too, right? So I mean, it seems like they're doing all their own spoilers so far on their show, right? But be sure to check it out. They're doing a lot of Q&A and getting stuff answered when they can. Every Monday evening, but we're hoping to have you and Carl back on when you guys start making some more progress on Convergence, right? So definitely, hopefully, keep us in mind. Keep our fingers crossed for spoilers and
sure.
whatnot. Definitely on board to learning this 100%. So thank you very much, Alex.
Thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
So on behalf of one side of the coin, I'm Steveo the Gamer.
Mack-Attack.
And Alex Miller, once again, thank you for joining us on the stream. We'll see you next Thursday evening at around 7 p.m. So have a great night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.